Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you today. This is one of my June 2021 club cards. And just let me make sure that I'm oriented properly here. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. Nope. I'm hoping that Facebook didn't turn it into a... There we are. Okay, we're there. All right, so this card uses a thick basic white card base that is the standard 8.5 by 5.5. Then I have a piece of basic white 5.25 by 4 for the inside. A piece of Fresh Freesia that's 5.5 by 4.25. And we're going to cut this die and then cut this out of the center of it. And I have a piece of basic white 3.5 by 5 to do that, cut that label out. And then I don't need that piece. I don't know what that's for. That's okay. In case you don't want a purple sentiment, I guess. I have some In Colour jewels and a piece of Fresh Freesia ribbon that's 4.25 inches wide. And of course an envelope. Okay, so I'm using the Color and Contour bundle that consists of the Color and Contour stamp set. There's a stamp on there. And the Scalloped Contour dies. So first thing I'm going to do is take the Fresh Freesia piece, my platform, and I'm going to cut the biggest die out, and I'm going to get the, oh, forgot to get the hand pinned, no, not hand pinned, there it is, Meadow dies. So I'm going to use this one from the Meadow dies. Just cut that out of the center, and I'm going to cut them both at the same time. I'll just run that through my machine. Like that. Okay. Got that all done. And then the next size down, I'm going to use the basic white and cut this next size down die. And run that through my die cut and emboss machine. There we go. Okay. We'll get those pieces all out of their dies. Put the dies away. Because you know how I lose stuff. It's never a good thing. Okay, we'll put those over there so I don't lose them. And then this one I'm going to pop out over top of the garbage can because it has bits that come out. There we go. Okay. Now it has a few little bits left in here, so I'm just going to pop those out. And a couple over here. There we go. Okay. Now I have this stamp, and I'm going to need that stamp and this stamp and this stamp. Apparently I didn't get them ready. Okay. So we have the stamps all here, except for the sentiment. Now, the sentiment I'm going to do, let's see what will fit on there. Here for You does, I know, but that one does not. Okay, I just want to do something different other than... Let's see if the thanks from hand penned will fit on there. Sure, let's use that one because it's a little more versatile. Okay, so that's going to be done in Versamark ink and white embossing powder. Okay, so step one is to stamp the floral image, and I'm using evening evergreen to do this. It's one of the new in colors. And just stamp it right on the label, right about the center-ish. Like that. And then this one, I'm going to stamp the inside piece and the envelope also in evening evergreen. Put that off to the side, and I'll close this because, you know, it gets everywhere. Now I have Fresh Freesia, which is the same color as the cardstock. And I love the cardstock. This color is amazing. Just looking for my stamp. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to use the stamp that fills it in. Now, when you're looking at this, you see those two petals that are together? They're like twin petals. I find that on my stamp. There it is right here. You can see it right there by my finger. And then if you line those up, line that up like that, it works perfectly. Now you have to let this go because this is one of those watercolory whimsical stamps that doesn't match exactly, but it does a really good job once you get those the twin petals together. Now there's the inside and the envelope done. Put that off to the side. Now there's also one like that that fills in this part. So I'm just going to ink that up in Fresh Freesia as well. And line it up the best I can. You have to remember that this is whimsical and they're not going to line up exactly. So if you're OCD like me, sometimes these types of stamps just don't work for you, but I'm learning to let things go. So there we go. That stamped that. Put that off to the side. I'll get my Versamark out and my thank you. And I'm going to ink this up with Versamark and stamp it like that. And then I'm going to go put get the white embossing powder. And white embossing powder and my heat gun because I forgot to get that. So just let me plug it in here. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so now put some white embossing powder on this. Just like that. I often forget that you can do this with sentiments and with other things, like stamp with Versamark on colored cardstock and then use your white embossing powder. It's really a nice effect. Okay, pardon the noise here for a sec. I'm just going to cook it. Now you have to be careful of your fingers when you're doing this because this does get up to over 400 degrees. So you don't really want to get your fingers in the way of that heat gun. And when you're using it, don't do this because you can break your filaments inside the heat gun. And you wouldn't want to break your heat gun. Okay, now we have layer 1. Come on, let go. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and the card base. So these are all up on dimensionals. So grab my dimensionals here and we'll put a few on. Remember when you're putting dimensionals on that you don't want to be stingy and have a card that collapses, because if you're going to mail this out, it goes through a machine that technically squishes it. Now it's a little more difficult when you have the hole in the middle, but just kind of work around it. Okay, so we'll put layer 1 on. And I use the big dimensionals because they cover more area. If you have foam strips, you could use foam strips as well. Okay, there we oh, drop it. There we go. So now this is going to go on here. Like that. And now I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals as well. Like that. Now you don't have to put them on dimensionals if you don't want. I like the look of it not being flat. You know, sometimes it's nice to have a bit of dimension in your cards. Okay, so now this one's going to go on here. Like that. Now the sentiment, I have a piece of Fresh Freesia. I was going to say Fresh Fig because we used to have Fresh Fig, but this isn't Fresh Fig. This is Fresh Freesia. And it's 4 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to thread it through the end of my sentiment to the other side. Like that. And I'm just making sure that it's flat and straight on the back because it'll make it look a little bit better. And then just kind of play with it till you get it laying flat and you get it even on both sides and it looks nice. So there we go. So now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit of a strip here. It can't be too wide, but because I don't like it when the dimensional is hovering over top of the ribbon because it has a tendency to not be attached firmly to your card, and you could it could wiggle and float and carry on everywhere. Our grandson is here and I can hear the quad. He loves riding the quad. Uh-oh. Somebody's opening my door. Oh. Hello? Oh. I came in to say hi. All right, let's finish up on the pieces of dimensional here. Oh, I think that one's a bit long. I think it was over top of my hole. Like that. Oh, just missed it. Okay, take the liners off. And see how by doing the little tiny strips, it's on either side of the ribbon. This means it's not going to wiggle and flop everywhere. And then hold your ribbon like this and just put it where you want it. There we are. Whoops, sorry. Now get my ribbon scissors. and just do a little trimming, just because I like the ends to be nicely trimmed. There we go. So there's the front of the card. Now the inside. Oh, look what I did. I forgot that the card was that way. I did it this way. So this one is going to have the flower on the other side. Oh well. That's life. You're probably sitting there thinking, yeah, I saw her do that. And I was wondering what she was doing. You know, sometimes you just forget. As long as I don't put it, the good thing, as long as it's not upside down. The good thing is that this is kind of ambidextrous. So you could do it on either side. See? There we go. Perfect. Get all of this stuff out of the way. Oh, I haven't put the bling on yet. Okay. Now in here I have, there's a little package. If you are part of my club and you've got your kits, there's a little package in the first one that has the goodies for all 3 cards in it. So I just need to go in here and pull out the in color jewels. Let me see if the scissors will work better. Yeah, right. Okay, we'll just pour them all out. There they are. All right. So I have 3 Fresh Freesia In Colour jewels to put on. Now these right now are not available, but I managed to scoop some before they went unavailable, so I'm lucky that we can have them for our cards. So there we are. There's one of the cards for my June 2021 monthly Stamping Club. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoy the card, and I hope you consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you would like to get a hold of me, my email address is gjmollet@shaw.ca, and underneath in the description of this video, I have all of my links as well as my email link to click on them, and my store where you can pick up the supplies. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stampin' Smiles. Bye for now.